Well, guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to the second part of our session. Well, guys, on this part, the idea is basically to finish our unit 8, which is the final unit of this second cycle, okay? I know that at the beginning you were, of course, finishing or polishing some aspects of the unit as well. Tonight, we will finish the unit, of course, and then we will talk about our speaking part. And also, like on the same line, I would like to know eventually if you have any questions related to the activities that you are supposed to do. The next part, I'm going to say it in Spanish to make sure that there is no misunderstanding. En el correo que les envié hoy, les hacía como el recordatorio de lo que hablábamos el día de ayer, referente a las actividades de clase. Básicamente mis notas salen de lo que hemos hecho en las actividades de PowerPoints compartidos en Google Drive. Yo les decía que solo una no entra dentro del componente evaluativo, que era la realizada en la sesión número 2, que obviamente ustedes la ven, no voy a eliminar esa evidencia ni mucho menos, pero no les dejaba editar, para que lo tengan presente por si de pronto no lo creo. Antes de la medianoche estaban pensando en ponerse el día. Recuerden que después de la medianoche ya queda deshabilitado para empezar como a descargar toda esa información para pasarle eventualmente a Daniela, quien es la encargada de subir las notas de su grupo. Okay, guys, so just wanted to remind you that part. Of course, tomorrow we will have the speaking part as well. And before we start and continue with what we are supposed to do, tonight I'm going to take attendance. I think that most of you are already here. So let me look for the file. There it is. Okay. Andrés Álvarez.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Joelia Ayala. Not here for the moment, looks like. Let's continue. Andrea Vaca. Not here for the moment.
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Okay. There you are. Thank you. Gilbert.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. John.
Here I am. Good evening.
Hello, John. Brian.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Stephanie Córdoba. Acabó de ingresar Stephanie. Silvia Alejandra Durán.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Judy Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Diana Lisette.
Está haciendo mucho frío.
El micrófono abierto, Judy. Ok, Diana. Luisa Fernanda Paredes.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Luisa Fernanda Pérez.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Jordan Alexis.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Mayra Juliet.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Mayra Alejandra Plata.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Alejandra Roballo. Okay, no, sorry. Harold David.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Harold. Sorry, Harold, a question. Did you attend the first part of the session?
Yes, teacher, I did.
Okay. Angelica Stephanie.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, Angelica. Daniela Fernanda.
Good evening, teacher. I'm here.
Good evening. Ana María Velasco.
Hi, teacher, here.
Hi, Ana. Jennifer Jimena.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Natalie Joana.
Here, teacher.
Okay. And Christian Joseph.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Well, guys, let me send one thing to the coordinator and then we start. Okay.
Teacher, sorry, I'm here and I arrived late.
A little bit. Don't worry, Stephanie. I already made the adjustment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Give me a minute, guys, and then we start.
Profe, qué pena, tengo una pregunta.
Cuénteme, Andrés.
En las correcciones que nos haces de los trabajos, ¿qué significa cuando subrayas algo en amarillo? ¿Que lo agregaste o que toca eliminarlo?
No, que lo agregué. Si es de eliminar, está totalmente tachado.
Ah, ok, vale, dale, dale, gracias.
Ok.
Teacher, I see your link, but only diapositive, but
Slides.
not a slide, sorry, but only a slide. When we can write on the
Let,
slide.
let me refresh the information a little bit. I'm going to, I don't need this. Mhm.
I don't know if I am done looking well.
I am not looking.
Yes.
Maybe a little. Because this is what appears to you.
Could you send me the link, please?
The thing is that that is what I have to clarify, Daniela. Look, this is what appears to you, right? Sessions, ingreso a plataforma, blah, 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 right? When we click on sessions, then we see all the folders with all the sessions, right? So for example, if we go to
Right.
session number 1, as you say, we only see like the slides, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
the thing is that when you scroll down in one of the slides, you are going to see the activity that we did with the link in there.
Ah, okay.
So, for example, that was session number 1. Let's have a look at session number 5. Once again, the PDF with the slides. We scroll down, and then in this case, I don't think that that day we did anything on the platform. Okay, so entonces no dice, no me perdí de nada, por decirlo así, in terms of the activities, of course. So that's why I wanted to show you like how it appears to you. Like you have to go through all the folders and through all the slides to see in which classes we had an activity. Remember, just like to clarify once again, when you have a look at session number 2, this activity that we did was a speaking activity and it didn't have a grade. So that is why when you click here on this, on the link, it's going to tell you that you can't edit, that you can only read. But don't worry, because this activity is not part of the gradable component, okay?
Okay. Okay, teacher, yes. I was looking in a correct.
Okay, well, don't worry. Well, hopefully you don't have like many activities missing, so you can actually go to bed on time. Because remember that that is going to be, let's say, unavailable from today, because I need to get the grades to give them to Daniel. Well, guys, as I was telling you today, we are going to finish the unit 8, and then we are going to talk about the speaking part. We have already discussed like very general aspects of the unit, of the activity, sorry. Let me hide this folder. Okay, but I want to make sure that all the aspects in terms of when we start, how you are supposed to be working, who you will be working with are clear tonight, because tomorrow I'm sure that you will be really busy studying. Remember that on the first part you have the written part, then when we take part of the session at 8, we have the speaking part. So just wanted to clarify a little bit our, let's say, mini agenda of what we will be doing tonight. Well, guys, all of you have the book. That means that we are talking about pages 84 and 85. In this case, we will have a look at 2 videos. The idea is to, once again, practice listening, to practice a little bit of reading, of course, to practice the speaking part. We will be working in groups once again. And on page 84, you're going to find here these 2 questions. Of course, we're not going to start like with group work immediately. And the questions that we have in here are, do you play video games? If so, which games and how often? And do you know anyone who is addicted to gaming? I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes to think about the answers of these 2 questions. If the answer is negative, because probably some of you are not interested in video games, because that can happen, give me a reason why you don't like it. It is not like, no games, no. That is not an answer, okay? So try like to come up with a way to support in case that your answer is negative. In case that your answer is positive, of course, I'm sure that you will share as many details as possible, okay? So I'm gonna turn my camera off, also the mic on. Brainstorm a little bit, so 2 minutes. Only these 2 questions that we have in here. Let's begin. Well, guys, time's up. I would like to know your opinion or your ideas from these first 2 questions. Remember that today's activity is related or talking about video games. Let's see. So I would like to know Sylvia's opinion. Do you play video games? If so, which games and how often?
Well, I don't usually play video games, but sometimes I like to download some games in my cell phone, like Candy Crush, and play for a while or when I'm bored.
Mhm. Okay. And do you know anyone who's addicted to gaming?
Yes, my brother.
Oh my
My
God.
brother is really addicted to video games on his computer.
Okay. Which game does he play? If I ask.
LOL, I think is the name, LOL, League of Legends, something like that.
Okay. And how often does he play it?
Every single night. Every night they play too much.
Okay, like how many hours? And that will be like the final follow-up question that I asked you, Sylvia.
I
Hours?
think like maybe 4 or 5 is really addicted.
Okay, he's really addicted. Thank you, Sylvia. Well, I guess that's one of the trends these days, somehow. Let me ask Christian, what about you? Do you play video games? If so, which games and how often?
Yes, I play video games. The last one was Star Wars Fallen Order. And like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so
2 weeks
you
ago.
don't play like how often do you play it?
In general, like once per week.
Once
But
a week?
depends on how busy I am.
Always what, Christian?
Depends of how busy I am.
Depends on. Okay. And do you know anyone who's addicted to gaming?
Right now, no.
Like regular people playing games. Okay. Thank you. Diana, what about you?
Yeah, well, teacher, nowadays, actually, I don't play video games,
Mhm.
but when I was a child or maybe a teenager, I used to play Guitar Hero and Crash Car and Crash Bandicoot, and also Donkey Kong. Um, And the second one, I don't know anyone who is addicted to gaming, but I know about some people that gaming as a job or do gaming for a living, participating in some events or oh, Brian just said streamers.
Streamers. Okay. Yeah, actually that's like a trend now. It's like these worldwide tournaments and people pay to go to the tournaments and they get paid, and there are also bets and things like that. So
Yeah.
it is a business. Okay,
Yeah.
Diana, thank you. Guys, do any one of you would like to share your answers? Raise your hand so we can listen to 2 more of your perspectives. Or do I have to choose the person who's about to answer the question? Thank you, Stephanie.
I don't play video games
Okay.
because first I get dizzy from camera movement. I don't know.
Movements?
I am sick.
Okay.
I bored.
I get bored.
I get bored quickly with anything hobby that I do.
Okay. And someone who's addicted
Yes, my brother is really addicted.
to which one?
I don't know. It's a war game. I don't know what is the name, but he's very addicted.
Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. Well, we're gonna listen to the next 4 people, Brian, Gilbert, Natalie, and okay. Brian, Gilbert, and Natalie. That will be it. Brian, you begin.
Well, I am not addicted precisely, but I am a great fan of the soccer video games. I had playing these games since I was a child. Since I
Okay.
was a child, and I started at FIFA 2002, and on this day nowadays, I am playing the latest version of FIFA. I meet together with my cousins and one day a month, and we make tournaments with the group, and I enjoy to share this moment with my family.
Nice, Brian. Thank you very much. So you have been playing for 20 years, FIFA.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Brian. Gilbert, what about you?
Okay, so currently I'm not like a gamer, so I don't used to play games, but when I was at the school, I really like it, so I used to play Halo or Call of Duty with my friends when we finished the classes early. We go to those places to play and started to play that games, and also I spent a lot of time playing Guitar Hero because I liked. I don't know. It was so amazing. Played that. When I started the university, I started to play League of Legends too, and I spent a lot of time because it was so amazing. But actually, I don't know. That time passed away, so
It's
now.
gone.
Okay,
That
yeah, it's
time is
gone.
gone.
It's gone. Okay, that time is gone. So actually, I didn't play any game.
Actually, I don't play. Well, actually, like, realmente, or actually, or currently, like,
Currently,
actualmente.
currently,
Okay.
I don't play any game.
Okay, Julia, thank you. Yeah, that happens, like, those habits change at the end of the day. Thank you. And Angelica, what about you?
Teacher, in this moment, I prefer to do other things like reading and working out. Sorry. But before I liked to play video games with my cousin. I remember played Uncharted
Playing.
because played Uncharted playing Uncharted because I used to like it so much.
Okay. When was the last time that you played, Angelica?
Sorry, can you repeat?
When was the last time that you played that game?
Oh, so many years, maybe 5 years.
Okay, yeah, that's a
Years
long
ago.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, Angelica, thank you very much. Natalie, do you want to share or you have any question?
Teacher, I want to share.
Okay, and you will be the last one. So tell us.
I used to play LOL, this League of Legends, and that I like, but these games are so stressful for me. So I get mad if I can't do it or something like this. So I stop it and I never play again, something like that.
When did you stop, Natalie?
At the last year, maybe, or 2020, because it's so stressful and that needs a lot of time too, and I don't have time. So I prefer to stop it and don't do it again.
I prefer stopping. Yeah, currently, thank you, Natalie. And well, of course, everything changes. And now we also have to keep in mind that if you want to play worldwide, you need to have money because you need internet connection, right? So there are more aspects that actually take part of playing the game, not only being, let's say, fun or only like to like it. That's not enough. Well, guys, we're going to watch a video. I was telling you that actually we're going to watch 2 videos and we're going to have different activities with the videos that you guys are going to watch. So first of all, we're going to analyze what you are going to, let's say, get from the first video. It says, I'm going to read the instruction. What's the video about gaming addiction? Choose the best way to complete each sentence. There are 4 sentences. As you can see, we have multiple choice. It's very important, guys, especially in this type of topics and in this type of exercises, that when we answer, it is not our personal opinion, because maybe some of you really like games, some of you don't care about games, and those ideas can somehow bias or affect the answer that we're going to get. you're going to get the answer based on what you watch, based on the information that is being presented. So don't assume, because in some cases we consider that, of course, it is obvious because that's how people do it. That's like the trend, you know, it is not my personal opinion. So remember, the information is the one that is going to give us, let's say, the input to answer the questions. Well, in this case, not answering the questions, is completed the statements. Let's have a look at the statements to have an idea of what we are going to find on that video. Let me ask Judy Lisette, could you read number 1 and also the choices A, B, and C, please?
Yes, teacher. The presenter is interested in A, how to stop children playing video games. B, why games are so popular. C, the dangers of video games.
That's it. Very good. Mayra Plata, could you read number 2, please?
Yes, teacher. Chris reacts violently when A, his mother tried to stop him using the internet. B, his mother tried to make him go to school. C, his mother took his copy of World of Warcraft.
That's it. Very good. Luisa Perez, could you read number 3, please?
In South Korea, a majority of boys are seriously addicted. A small minority of boys are seriously addicted, or serious addiction to games is not a problem.
Okay, and number 4, John, please, could you read the statement and the 3 choices?
The presenter believes that parents should stop their children playing games. Parents should encourage their children to play games, and parents shouldn't ignore their children when they are playing games.
That's it, guys, the presenter. Of course, as you can imagine, but let's point it out, the questions appear in the same order that the information is being presented, okay? So just make sure that we follow like the line of events in order to get the answer. Guys, I'm gonna send you in a moment the link of the video to the chat. You're gonna watch the video once, okay? As you can see, the video takes about 4 minutes and 11 seconds. So be very precise, like pay attention on how the events are presented, because we will have then a second activity and we would need to watch the video again. So we're not going to spend like 20 minutes on the first video. So first of all, let's say that all our attention is focused on completing these 4 statements based on how the information is being presented on the video. As I was telling you, I'm gonna send you the link so you can watch the video. Maybe you need to stop it. Maybe you need to control the volume. I don't know, whatever you prefer. But it is very important, guys, that during these 4 minutes and 11 seconds, we don't make any type of noises because, of course, everybody will be watching the video. So we are going to be quiet during that, let's say, time frame. So, guys, before I send the link to the chat, do you have any question?
No, teacher, we don't have any questions, thanks.
No,
That's
teacher,
it.
thank you.
Great, guys. Thank you very much. So here we have the link. 4 minutes and 30 seconds starting now. Well, guys, thumbs up. Did you finish?
Yes, teacher,
Yes,
can you
teacher.
please project the
Yes, teacher.
Great. Well, the first part, a little bit literal, we could say the idea was to identify the answers. Angelica says that no. I'm gonna give you like a couple of seconds. 30 seconds. Well, let's see. Anyway, you will have, let's say, the chance to watch the video one more time, although focused on a different activity, but you will have, let's say, more time to check the answers from this first part. Let's see. So, Ana Maria, tell us number one, read the statement and then the answer that you chose.
Teacher, can you share the screen?
Sure.
Books.
Okay. There it is.
Thanks.
Number one.
Mhm.
Okay, the person is interested in maybe B, why games are so popular, or how to stop children playing video games.
Or the dangers of video games? No, you gotta give me your answer, like you're secure, Ana Maria. Because you said maybe, sounds like, you're guessing. It was tricky, right? Because they're talking about all those aspects in the video in general.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
but
that is incorrect answer. So
maybe C.
Which one?
C.
Could you read it, please?
The dangers of video games.
Very good. That's the one. Yes, Ana Maria, thank you. Andrea, what about number two?
Yes, Chris reacted violent when his mother tried to stop him using the internet.
Violently.
Violent.
Very good, Andrea. That would be A. Let's have a look at number three, Andres.
Okay, in South Korea, a majority of boys are seriously addicted.
Is it the majority?
Yeah. Yeah, because they had the same problem that United Kingdom.
No, for me it's a B because say 2%.
2%. Actually, it's B. As I was telling you, will watch the video in a moment once again to confirm the answers that we are collecting from here. But Stephanie is right. It was B.
Okay.
And we finish with number four. I'm going to ask Brian. Brian?
The A, teacher.
Is it A? Parents should stop their children playing games? It's actually like the final proposal, like the final conclusion?
C, teacher.
It's C, for me C.
Stephanie says C.
C.
Jordan says C. Gilbert says C. Yes.
C.
Okay. That's it. Well, like a little, let's say, summary from this part. That's what I was telling you. Like, in some cases, our opinion, although valid, don't worry, Brian. In some cases, it doesn't match what we are reading, or in this case, what we are watching. Of course, for some people that maybe they are too strict, I would dare to say like that would be a complicated thing to try to apply, like asking them children to stop playing games completely. Currently, that would be, I dare to say also from my perspective as a teacher, that would be almost impossible. it would be better or more realistic in terms like of an aim to achieve, trying to, let's say, have a better management of the situation, like not to ignore the children while they are playing. We can't say that they won't play in their lives. It would be like a, let's say, weird and very risky assumption to make. It would be better like, okay, they are playing. Let's see what they're doing. I listen to a microphone open. Yes, Gilbert?
Oh, sorry, teacher.
Okay, no, don't worry. I thought that you were going to say something. Well, guys, we were watching the first part, as I was telling you, the first part, no, we were watching the first time. The idea was to identify some aspects. And I know that you also noticed that during the video, they were giving, well, certain information in terms of numbers. You're going to watch it again. And the idea that you're going to say or to take some notes about these numbers, what they refer to. We have 5 years, 10 hours, 3 billion, 2%, 20 hours a day, and 55%. In this case, part 3A and B will be done in breakout rooms. This is basically like one of the last activities where we are using the breakout rooms for this cycle. Let's have a look at the first question. It says, what are the main problems experienced by Chris's parents and Sang-wook's parents? And this question that I really want to know your opinion, guys, what would you do in their situation? Now, this is the moment where actually your opinion, your perception is going to appear, you know, not like in the previous activity, as I was telling you, the perspective from the presenter, from the people who were being interviewed. Now, finally, I want to know what your opinion is about the situation. So remember, guys, that you're going to be doing 2 different things. The first one, identifying these numbers from the same video, and then eventually you will share with all the group what the numbers are about, and then to answer the 2 questions. Once again, the first question is based on the video, and then the second question is your opinion as a group, okay? Guys, each group is going to have 4 participants. I know that in some cases it is difficult to agree among this, let's say, big amount of people, but probably you have like a similar perspective. So 3A and B with the same link. I already adjusted so you can share your screen in your groups. Guys, are the instructions clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Very good. We already know that the video takes around 4 minutes. I know that you are going to watch it again. Probably there are some parts that you already remember, like 85% is blah, blah, blah. But of course, you will need a little bit of extra time to answer the questions. In total, you're going to have 12 minutes. We get back and we socialize, okay? Let's start. I'm gonna open the rooms right now. There is a microphone open. Let's begin. Harold and Mayra, are you having any problem trying to take part of the rooms? There you are. Well, guys, welcome back. Well, don't worry. We have just moved to this, let's say, part of the session, the general call. Well, I know that probably the part of the questions could be, I'm not going to say complicated because, of course, this is not complicated for you, but trying to agree sometimes takes up most of our time. Well, first of all, let's have a look at this first part. Let's say that we were still interacting with the video before we move to the next part where you provide your opinion. Let me refresh my memory about how the groups were organized. So from group number 1, Luisa Fernanda Paredes, what's the meaning or what does it talk about when we're talking about 5 years?
Okay, teacher. That the last 5 years, video games become more popular. Computer games, for exactly. Yeah.
Well, probably it's a kind of obvious question, but where, in which country?
Around the world, I think, or
Around.
USA. Yeah.
Yeah,
Around
like
the world.
around the world, could be. That's it. Something else that you would like to add? Well, that's pretty clear already.
What else? No, I think that in the last few years, 5 years, video games become more popular. Yeah, more famous.
Famous.
Yeah.
Okay, Luisa, thank you very much. Let's have a look at 10 hours, group number 2. You're gonna tell me the answer, Stephanie.
We spend more than 3 billion a year on gaming, more than we spend on film or music.
Okay, 3 billion. You told me 3 billion, although I was asking you 10 hours. But okay, you gave me the answer of 3 billion. Then I'm going to ask Daniela. Don't worry. No, anyway, you were right. That's the bright side. Daniela, what about 10 hours?
10 hour is percentage of Korean children serious addict to video games.
But you know, it doesn't match, it doesn't have like alignment because it says 10 hours and you're gonna tell me percentage.
Okay, 10 hours, sorry, teacher.
Hmm.
Is she sent her son, Korean's woman, 10 hour correspond when she sent her son to a camp because her son spent more than 10 hours playing video games.
That would be the part. The Korean boy or her son spend more than 10 hours gaming, to edit a little bit. But at the end of the day, that's the answer. Daniela, thank you. That's it, very good. Group number 4, let's have well, we already have the answer of 3 billion. What about 2%? In this case, the answer is going to be from Mayra Pinzon.
2% of young children between 11 and 16 years old are seriously addicted to video games.
That's it, like seriously addicted. That's why we were clarifying from the previous question on the first exercise. Let's have a look at 20 hours a day, group number 5. Please, Natalie, tell us the answer. Natalie, okay, probably she's having problems with her connection. Gilbert, 20 hours a day.
Okay, teacher. So 20 hours sorry, 20 hours a day is the amount of time that Chris spent playing video games.
That would be it. And to finish, group number 1, you repeat. Harold, what's 85%?
Teacher, if I remember well, it's about the amount of the Korean that um, play video games.
Not really, Harold. Any help from group number 1?
Hi,
Por
teacher.
favor.
Sorry, I lost
Hi,
my
Natalie.
connection.
Yeah, I noticed that, Natalie. Don't worry. Your group, fortunately, backed you up on giving the answer.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, 85%. Let's help group number 1, group number 2.
Teacher, it says that in South Korea is the country with the world's most developed internet network, and it has 85% faster broadband.
Okay, very good. Well, we know that when we're talking about technology, these data tends to change. Probably up to today, another country has a different percentage. Probably in South Korea, it increased or maybe it reduces, but I don't think it has reduced. Of course, we're basing our opinion on the information that we have just watched. Very good. We still have 2 questions. I'm going to focus my attention on the last one because we still have another video and I don't want you to get that tired. Hopefully we can do those activities as well. What would you do in their situation? What was the conclusion that you got from your groups? I'm going to start with group number 5. Sylvia.
We think that it's necessary have more control over the time that the children play, not prohibit at all, but maybe they have more control.
Okay, for example, in your case, what would be to control more, in your opinion?
I think it's maybe 1 hour to the day, no more.
1 hour
than
a
that.
day?
Yeah.
Okay, well, of course, it's your opinion, what you consider would be like appropriate. I'm not going to say that it is incorrect because, of course, I don't have the correct answer as well. Just want to know your opinion. Great, Sylvia. What about group number 4? Andrea. And of course, I'm talking about the conclusion that you got from the group. What would you do in their situation? Andrea,
Well,
I'm not listening. Okay.
We don't talk about that question because the time's up, but I think that
sorry.
But maybe I think that it's our yes it's a situation that could be controlled by parents and different say maybe
what?
To have more control about that the ¿cómo se dice? Como
Again, how do you say what?
Like the time spending on internet.
Okay. Okay. Somehow similar, not similar because if you have the same opinion, why are you going to change yours? Sylvia was saying that 1 hour a day would be like, let's say, enough. In your opinion, Andrea, how much time? Also 1 hour, more time, but in a different frequency. What do you think for you would be like the normal amount of time to play a video game?
For me, I think that the kids could play in the weekends when they don't when they don't have class because I think that they have to focus in the yes in the homework and yes I think that.
Okay, Andrea, thank you. Mayra, yes, what you would like to add?
Teacher, I would like to add that, for example, in the cases presented in the video, I think that it's weird that the parents didn't take action when the children spend all the day on the video games. So I think as in a when I don't have kids, but I have cousin, and I don't like, for example, that they have a cell phone in their hand when they are like 8 years old, 5 years old. I think that as a parent, they have to control the connection between children and technology. Because at this time, I believe that it's not mental healthy that they spend so much time on the phones or the computers or playing video games because they didn't develop their brains, you know. So
That's it. Mhm.
if I have a children, probably I wouldn't like that they be in touch with technology.
They get in touch. Yeah, you know, it's a very complex issue, you know, because somehow these days children are more, let's say, keen on using technology from the very beginning. And you see the example that so many people say, okay, I don't want my children to use the cell phone or something. And then for some reason they have to rely, you know, on that device to help them to sleep or things like that. It shouldn't be like that in reality. I agree with you, Mayra, but I think that because of time and maybe, I don't know, they need to make sure that the children goes to sleep as fast as possible. It is easier to put the video and that's it. So unfortunately, there are like more aspects playing on those situations, but I agree with you. I don't have children either, so. Okay, thank you, Mayra.
Thank you.
Group number 3. So, Jennifer, what would you do in their situation? What was the answer that you collected from your group?
We agree that we will try to seek professional help because it's a serious problem. So for this reason, the gamers that are addict and their families needs to overcome this situation, and to prevent, we have to set limits in the activities that our children are focused on, because if we don't do that, maybe it would be late, and maybe after that we would have addict gamers, and it's a serious problem nowadays.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. The first one, that's the one that I also asked the previous group. First, they said 1 hour a day. Then on the second group, they said on weekends. In your opinion, what would be like the proper frequency to play video games?
Maybe 1 hour per week, because it's important that the children can differentiate between the real life and what it's really important, and how they have to behave in virtual life.
Absolutely. And you're pointing out also something that I dare to say that in our culture, let's say not that promote, and it is seeking for help, like going to a therapist or trying to find something outside home in order to help children. In our culture, we tend to think that problems are solved at home somehow. But in some cases, we do need help from the outside and from experts. And in this context, I also agree with that part. We need a therapist. We need someone that can actually guide us to help children to stop being addicted to games. Group number 3, thank you very much. Good opinion, as all of you guys, of course.
Thanks.
Group number 2, Christian. So what's the conclusion? What would you do in their situation? Christian, you said, I'm gonna drink some water in the meantime.
Try to choose certain kind of games, maybe more not too violent. I mean, there's certain kind of games that actually are more healthier than others.
Are healthier than others. For example, Well, I don't know about video games. I'm an ignorant. So guide us in that line. What is healthier? Not the name of the game, but like the type of the game that from your perspective is healthier.
For example, there's actually one way they force you to literally wait for someone online to help you to do something. And you can abandon at the game until someone came to help you. And it's impossible to advance at the game if someone don't want you to abandon on the game. Things like that.
Wait, Christian. It is impossible to advance in the game
If someone don't help you. So I mean,
if someone doesn't help you. Okay.
Yeah. There are things that are forced to play in couples because that's the way that the game was designed. For example, for parents and children, it are like, I don't know, 10 hours of game totally, but you can divide it in, I don't know, 1 hour per day or 1 hour per weekend, like a family activity and
parents activity.
And there's some kind of more philosophical game now, more, I don't know, like a cinematic experience.
Okay. Interesting point of view, Christian. Yeah, and well, actually, I didn't know that there were this type of games. Well, of course, everything exists. The fact that probably we are not in touch with that doesn't mean that it is not important or it is not that relevant. Those games that you said that they have to be done in person, they are like the focus are like parents and children, so they can spend more time together. That is a really nice one. Do you remember the name of a game
that
has that perspective?
When is your? The name is Jordan.
Jordan?
Like see, Jordan. That is the name
Journey. Okay, sorry. Good name.
I remember the name is like from 2021, maybe.
Okay. Okay, Christian, nice. It's really nice, guys, that all of you are providing a different perspective. And let's finish with group number 1. I'm going to ask Luisa Perez. What is the conclusion that you got? What would you do in their situation?
I don't know, sometimes it's very difficult in my experience, and we must talk with, for example, with my brother for that, because he is a little addicted with video games. And we talk with him about he needs to spend his time in other things like studying or practice a sport and other things.
It's a complicated issue. Actually these days, parents, they're trying to find any activity like knitting or sewing or, I don't know, ballet dancing, whatever, but making sure that children spend less time online or using their cell phone, but doing something different, like with their time. Guys, thank you very much. I actually really like when you provide your opinion. I try to ask different people. In some cases, I repeat the name of the person, but I forget. The idea that you practice as much as possible. Most of you feel really comfortable, I notice, like speaking. In other cases, I know that some of you struggle, but that's the only way, like to improve this skill in particular, although we don't feel like comfortable 100% of the time. And in some cases, we make the mistake and maybe you think, I made that mistake. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that we continue practicing. Guys, as I was telling you, we have here the second video. And then remember that after that, we're going to talk about the parameters for our speaking exam. And in this case, well, we continue, let's say, on the same line. Here we have 3 people that they are talking about video games. Let me share. Am I sharing the screen properly? Yes. Okay. These are the 4 questions. I'm going to read them for you. Let me turn this off for a moment. What is an acceptable amount of time to spend playing video games? We have Imogen, Steve, and Carol. Let's see if their answer is similar to the one that you shared some minutes ago. Are video games too violent? Are violent video games a problem for children? How should parents prevent children becoming addicted? You have to do 2 things, guys. First of all, You have to choose the question that they answer. Let's imagine that, for example, the first question, only Carol, I'm going to say something crazy. Only Carol answers this question, okay? Maybe the second question is from Imogen and Steve and Carol, something like that. The idea is that you watch it and you make sure that you choose which is the question that they are answering. And of course, the idea is that you take some notes of the answers that they give, okay? The information that they give is not that long. Once again, the idea is to summarize, you know, and of course, as usual, the idea that then when we, let's say, socialize the answers, we're going to help each other. Like this person doesn't have the answer, but then we can ask another person and so on and so forth. Okay, so one, remember, not everybody is answering the questions. Make sure that you choose who is answering what, and then take some notes. The information that they provide is very short and very precise. Okay, guys, did you have any question about the instruction before I send the link for the video? Questions?
No,
Okay,
teacher.
great. You know, a silver lining, this video is way shorter than the previous one. Let me share my screen as well. This video is only 2 minutes and 22 seconds, so don't feel worried that you're gonna take like 20 minutes to watch it and to answer the questions. And then also on that same idea, that means that they provide the answer like very fast. They are sharing their opinions like right away, so make sure that you can take some notes. Because you have to pause, you have to take some notes, and you have to continue. I'm gonna give you guys a total of 7 minutes. It looks like a big amount of time, but remember that you pause, you take some notes, and then you continue. And my intention, of course, is that everybody can finish. So when I ask you, all of you have the answers. Remember, guys, that when I send you the link and you start watching the video, we have to be all quiet in order to avoid interrupting each other, even me. So here you have the video, 7 minutes starting now. Guys, time's up. Did you finish?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Well, this is the final activity. Remember that the idea was to select the questions and then to get some notes. Why not? No, why not? To get some notes that was part of the instruction. Let me move this a little bit. Let me put the attendance. Okay. And Natalie's having problems with the connection. Let me send her back. So we have Imogen, Steve, and Carol. Let's first of all establish, let's put it like that, which were the questions that they answered. So John, question number 1. Only 2 people answered the question. Which ones? John is not here. I thought that I saw him. Then I'm going to ask Jordan. Only 2 people answered the first question. Which ones?
Emoji and Steve.
Very good. So what did Imogen said? Let me ask Mayra Pinzon. But he doesn't say like a number, right?
He doesn't know how it is to play video games, but he thinks that is much time when the children spend time playing and they don't do anything.
Okay.
I think.
Something else that we can add, Stephanie, for Imogen? I said he, but it's she, sorry.
No, I have the same.
Okay. What about the Steve? What does he say? Andres. The same question, the first one, by the way, but in this case, talking about Steve.
Carol and Imogen.
About the Steve, Andres, what did he say? The same?
I don't know, teacher.
You don't have it? Who thinks that has the answer? Well, the information collected from Steve's answer. What does he say about time? Angelica, I guess?
Teacher Diana. Steve has a similar opinion that he say that of course he's bad if the child only play video games and don't do anything else.
Very good. Well, and to wrap up, so he said that moderation is important, right? Which was one of the things that you guys pointed out in your groups. So, of course, you were right. Let's have a look at question number 2. Add video games to violent. Once again, only 2 people answered the questions. Which 2 people were, Angelica?
Yes, teacher. Steve and Carol. Carol say about he has a son that she has a son that he plays a lot. So she could see a lot of games, sorry. So she thinks that some games can violent content.
And have. Absolutely, Angelica, you are right. And you already summed up pretty well what Carol said in her answer. What about the Steve? Gilbert? We're talking about question number 2. What was his answer for that one? The question was, are video games too violent? And somehow his answer is a little bit different from, well, compared to Carol's, right?
Okay, someone said that it isn't too violent, so I mean it's not too, I don't know how to say it, to private at all of the video games to the children.
Hmm. Let's see if we can expand a little bit. Does anybody want to chip in for Steve's answer?
Steve said that
Sylvia, yes.
the video games are very violent, but it depends on the age. Each game is made for certain age, not for all of the children.
Yes. Depends on like who they're intended for, right?
But he say also that not all the video games are violent. Depends violent. Depends of the audience.
Depends on the audience. Very good, Stefan. Well, let's continue. We're about to finish. Question number 3. Brian, are violent video games a problem for children? Which two people answered this question?
Teacher Carol and Steve.
Okay, Brian, do you have, well, no, do you have, no, I know that you do. What was Steve's answer?
It depends of the game.
Well, that was
Children
it
are
for the
playing.
second one. Well, I'm not going to interrupt you, sorry, Brian. That was like rude from me. Continue with your idea.
Carol said that there are many researches that relationates violent behavior with playing violent video games where guns or violence.
Violence. And yes, that's true. Some research shows present that part. And well, I interrupted Brian, but anyway, I would like to clarify, maybe Jennifer can help us in this one. The answer from Steve for question number 3.
Yes, he said that the games that are available on the industry are classified per ages, so children mustn't play violent video games.
That's it. Very good. Lisette, what about question number 4? Which two people answered them? How should parents prevent children becoming addicted?
Imon in Carol.
Very good. So what did Imogen say? Judy. What did she say for her answer of this question, number 4?
She says something to tell the children to not play the video games and explain them the reason for. Sorry, teacher.
Don't worry, Joy. You had like the beginning, you know, maybe I would like to ask Diana if you can enrich Judy's answer.
No, teacher, I lost the emojis answer. I had the Carol ones.
Okay, let's share Carol's.
Carol says that children can become addicted to video games pretty easily. But if parents put attention to the children, they could be
prevented. Very good. Yes, Diana, you are right. So who has Imogen's answer for the final question to finish this part?
Teacher, I guess that she said that she tried to take the kids to pay the attention of them in other interested, because
Mhm.
she said that if she said to them, she told them that they have to stop playing video games, they will do the opposite.
The opposite. Yes, Harry.
Opposite.
Very good. So guys, notice that you were actually right in this case. Well, somehow there is a kind of trend. We already know that we would always have like different opinions, but based on the different perspectives that were shared, we were like on the, I'm going to say right track, but of course, we know that this is a kind of complex issue that has to be discussed eventually. Well, guys, to finish, as I was telling you before, we are going to have a look at the parameters that you need to keep in mind for the exam. I had already shared with you the other day, like very general ideas. Today is going to be pretty much the same, but just to make sure that, let's say you are not confused. Remember that the first part is going to be individual. You already know your groups. I'm going to refresh your memory about the groups. There is one person that unfortunately has failed the course because of absences. That happens. So there is an adjustment, but the good thing is that I think it doesn't completely affect the dynamic of the groups for tomorrow. As I was telling you, the speaking part, the first part is individual. I choose the question that I'm going to ask every single one of you, and you're going to have 40 seconds to answer that question, okay? Keep that in mind. I know that you have a really good level, but make sure that you answer what is being requested. When I say 40 seconds, it is not like then you give me an answer of 1 second. Make sure that you can expand a little bit. Remember that the idea in this type of activities is like, it's like your moment to show off, you know, what you already know and how you can, let's say, internalize and integrate what you have already learned. That is what I'm going to see. Everybody can answer any question that I ask. I don't have like any doubt about it. It doesn't matter the question, you answer it. But what is the intention? That you start integrating what we have been studying during the classes, with me, with Daniela, of course. Otherwise, we're going like doing the same exact, like the same activity, not the same activity, pretty much, but like you're using exactly the same vocabulary, you use the same expressions, and there is no change in your level. Our level changes in the way that we include the new things that we have been studying. Then we will move to the second part. I'm going to give every group a situation, okay? Let me refresh your memory. Then tomorrow at 8, we like begin the session. I take attendance and the idea that you're going to your groups. I clarify the number of each group doesn't reflect the order, okay? I, at random, would decide the first group that I'm going to go to. So it doesn't mean that Diana, Mayra, Natalie, maybe they thought that group number 1 was going to be number 1. No, I'm going to start with the one that I want, okay? Just to make sure that part. As I was telling you, I'm gonna give you guys, each group, a situation. The situations were taken from the units that we covered. So think about the different aspects that we were talking about. We're talking about experiences. For example, yesterday we were talking about behaviors. We were talking about past. We were talking about plans. So have a look. The good thing is that you already have the book. You already have the material that we have been using in classes. I'll talk about my material and Daniela's, of course. So check all those different aspects that were, let's say, studied during the classes. Once again, what is going to be the idea that you integrate what we have been studying? I will present you the topic tomorrow at 8. So you have the time to present it. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes and then I start visiting the groups. Parameters in general, and then I'm gonna give you, let's say, the space to ask questions because I think that you may have some. As I told you, the speaking part will take place during the second part of the session from 8 p.m. to 9:50. The idea that we are as organized as possible, so we finish at 9:50. Of course, the first group is going to finish earlier. Unfortunately, there will be a group that is going to be the last one. That's how it works. But I really, really want you to finish on time so we don't have like to wait until 10:30. That is not appropriate because you are like really tired, and I'm sure that the performance wouldn't be like the one that we expect. During the first minutes of the session, the material of part 2 will be shared and the breakout rooms will be created. You already know the rooms that you, the groups that you belong to. But anyway, I will present that information once again. Guys, all participants must turn their cameras on during your intervention. We haven't used in my part of the session, of course, the cameras, but tomorrow we're talking about the speaking part. I need to see you. I'm telling you that today, because I know that for some of you, this can be like a kind of complicated situation. I'm not telling you that during the 2 hours, almost 2 hours, while you're waiting for me, you have to turn your camera on. It's during the moment of the intervention, okay? So in the individual part, you turn the camera on, then you turn it off while I ask the other 2 participants. Then in the moment of the collaborative part, all of you 3 or the 2 guys, whatever, turn your cameras, it's finished, and then you leave the session, okay? It is not, let's say, negotiable. Let's put it like that. So from now on, no. Today, you know, probably you will look for a strategy to make sure that you can turn your camera on tomorrow. Like we already told you, when the speaking part is finished, you can abandon the meeting. And of course, make sure you follow the instruction. You will see that the idea for tomorrow is that the conversation is maximum of 2 minutes. And all the participants have to speak during those 2 minutes. Make sure that everybody speaks. Not like one person speaks for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then you pass the turn to the other person. And then after 30 seconds, let's say the alarm is going to ring, and I'm sorry. So make sure to follow the instructions. Guys, I would like to, one thing that is very important. This is going to be the rubric that I'm going to use to evaluate and assess your performance, talking about topic development, as I was telling you, making sure that you guys are actually using and internalizing these new topics that we have been studying. Of course, we can't deny grammar and vocabulary, the proper use, pronunciation and intonation, fluency and coherence. Making sure that you talk up like in a good pace and what you say makes sense. That's like the idea of coherence. So guys, do you have any question? Raise your hand, please, in case that there are many, so we don't interrupt each other. Let me turn the camera off for a moment.
Teacher, can you show me the slide 7? Page number 7, please.
Slide 7, yes.
Thank you.
Welcome, Daniela.
Teacher, the individual part is first than the group?
Well, I send you to the breakout rooms, and while I visit you, the first part would be the individual, and then when the individual is finished, we immediately do the group work part. So it is not like like for example, in this case, like I would do the individual part like let's say in front of all of you, no. When I visit you in each group, I begin with this individual, and then we move to the group part.
Thank you, teacher.
Welcome, Lisa. And actually, that's a pretty good question to clarify that part. Any other question, guys?
No, teacher.
Thank you, Mayra.
No, teacher, thank you.
Well, guys, yeah, I know that you have like a lot of things to do. Probably some of you are still working on the project that you have to deliver up to midnight. Also, to have a look at the activities that we were doing. I really, really hope that you have enough time to finish everything. Well, guys, the idea of tomorrow, of course, is to make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible. Okay? Well, guys, 9:50 almost. So in case you have any question, through the email, and I can answer to that question tomorrow morning, hopefully. Well, guys, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Teacher.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.